Thank you, Patrick. To understand the challenge that Rukaya described so well, we should look back at that chart we saw earlier in the orange line. The cost of the PERS pension plan borne by public employers has never been higher, at 18% of payroll. But it is about to increase by 60% over the next 6 years to 30% of payroll. If we don't act, the effects on budgets and services will be dire, immediate, and unavoidable. Now, we've been here before. State lawmakers, to their credit, twice proposed solutions to the problem, only to see most of their handiwork rejected by the Oregon Supreme Court. But the court went out of its way in the most recent case to show that legally viable pathways to reform still exist. It may look like we're back to square one on PERS reform, but we have clear and more certain paths forward now. These paths lead to two conclusions. We can reduce benefits yet to be earned by current and future employees, or we can ask employees to pay at least some of the cost of their future pensions. There is a list of options in the issues brief in your packet. Thanks to the court, we can now summarize the entirety of options for PERS reform on 2 pages. Broadly understood, these options demand a shared responsibility among all stakeholders. Think of a toll booth at the entrance to these pathways to reform. There are 3 lanes for public jurisdictions, public employees, and taxpayers. When we all contribute, we share the costs and we get something back in return. Employees gain when pensions are secure, when there's funding for raises to keep up with the larger labor market, and when their classrooms, clinics, and other workplaces are adequately staffed. Our schools and public jurisdictions benefit, and the children and citizens they serve benefit when we can do more to enhance services with our revenue gains. Our taxpayers benefit and regain confidence in government when they see their payments support more and better services, from schools to streets to healthcare. If we look at the PERS problem from this perspective, we find that the structure of the PERS retirement system is actually helpful, because all employees contribute to a second retirement savings plan separate from the PERS pension plan. Future contributions to these savings plans can be redirected to the pension plan. And that's a lot easier on employees than the arrangements common in other states where employees have been required to contribute more from their paychecks to help finance their pensions. So don't be confused on these points. There are viable solutions. They need not affect any employee's paycheck. And they are significant enough to enable the state, schools, universities, cities, and counties to minimize PERS cost increases that will otherwise decimate their budgets. So now we have a choice. Go without PERS reform, dodge the issue, kick the can down the road. We'll see a larger and larger share of revenue gains from an expanding economy chase a growing pension deficit. Or work with the options we have and fashion a shared approach to PERS reform. We'll see more of our revenue gains go to improving our schools and frontline services. If we can get over the denial and resentments that this issue has engendered in the past, and commit to this shared approach going forward, we'll be able to do more and better for our kids and our people, rebuild confidence in government, and foster a circle of prosperity for our state. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Tim.